Hello, welcome to AllCBTs again. My name is David, and in today's special class, we want to take GCE Geography. Now, note that the questions we are going to take now covers all O-level geography exams. So, whether you're taking WAEC, NECO, or just about any other exam in the O-level category, from SS1 to SS3, GSS, WAEC, these questions, these top 30 questions, does cover all of these angles. These are the most likely questions that you should experience in your geography exam. So if you're yet to be subscribed to the channel, make sure you smash that button right away. We are going to be having a very exciting and interesting class. So sit back, relax, and make sure you note these points or these questions. And if you have any questions or you have inquiry or you're not clear or you have a different opinion or a different idea to these questions, please make sure you interact with me in the comment section. I'm happy to chat it out with you. Now, let's begin with the first question. It says, the sun is overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn on dash. The sun is overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn. You know, we have several tropics. We have Tropic of Capricorn, Cancer, the likes. So the sun is overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn on December 22nd. On the December 22nd of every year, sun is often overhead, directly overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn. What about for Cancer? That would be the Tropic, June 21. The sun is directly overhead the Tropic of Cancer on June 21. So the correct option for this is what? December 22nd. That's option B. Question 2. Which of the following elements of weather is matched with the wrong measuring instruments? So we have different instruments used to measure weather here. Okay. Now you have rainfall to rain gauge. Correct. We use rain gauge to measure the amount of rainfall, to gauge the amount of rainfall. You have sunshine, sundial. Correct. Wind speed. We use anemometer. But right here now you see humidity and barometer, which is incorrect because we use hygrometer to measure humidity, and then we use barometer to measure what? Pressure, air pressure. We use hygrometer to measure air humidity, right? So in fact, we sell these equipment. So in case you need to buy them for your science expenditures, make sure you use the comment section to request how you can get any of this. So the correct option for this is A. There is a conflict there. Humidity should go with hygrometer. Question 3. Marble is a metamorphosed dash. Marble is a metamorphosed dash. And this one is straight to the answer. Marble is a metamorphosed limestone. And of course, you know that limestone is a sedimentary rock. And then question 4. Which of the following pairs of minerals from the bulk form the bulk of the inner core of the earth? You know, the inner core of the earth is always hot, right? So which of the following pair of minerals, which of these minerals as a pair? What is a pair? 2. So we have 2, 2, 2, 2. So which of these forms the inner core of the earth? And that is iron and nickel. The inner core of the earth contains a larger percentage of iron and nickel. And then question 5. Which of the following pairs of rocks are sedimentary rock? Which of the following pairs of rock examples are sedimentary rock? Okay, I already did a little touch on that. And I mentioned limestone, right? So long you see limestone, that is it. Limestone and chalk. Sedimentary rocks are not real rocks. They are rocks from granite rock, from metamorphosis and several natural processes of other rocks, right? So yeah, limestone and chalk are examples of rock examples that are formed from sedimentary rock. Okay, and then question 6 now. In the northern hemisphere, the sun solstice is experienced on dash. We have September 22nd, 23rd, you have June December 22nd and March 21. So the correct option here is March 21. In the northern hemisphere, the solstice is experienced on March 21. And then question 7. Which of the following is a satellite of the Earth? Meaning it's inside the Earth. All these other ones are not inside the Earth. They are not the main satellite of the Earth. They are outside the Earth. So you have the sun, it's outside the Earth. You have the moon, it's a part of the galaxies in the Earth. Alright? So in fact, it's a natural source of light for the Earth, the moon. So, it's not a source of light actually. It actually only reflects the light of the sun, right? So it's a satellite of the Earth, the moon, right? So that's option E. And then question 8. The outer layer of the solid Earth is called what? The outer layer of the Earth. Now, for example, this is the Earth. So the Earth is often covered by something. What is that thing called? That's what the question is about. It's called the crust. Okay, it's just like a thick solid covering on the Earth. So it's called crust. And then question 9. Which of the following is an igneous rock? Which of the following is an igneous rock? That is granite. Granite is an igneous rock because it belongs to the igneous rocks, right? So all these other ones are sedimentary rocks, like I explained in question 2 and 3. Rocks that are formed from processes of other rocks, okay, or other heads processes. They are not really that as strong as the igneous rocks. Okay. So next question, question 10. Bedding plane is a characteristic of dash. Bedding plane is a characteristic of sedimentary rocks. Okay. What is bedding plane? Simple. Just means something like this. Alright. Layers in sedimentary rock. Layers. So it's a characteristic of sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks are always in layers. Right. Then question 9. Which of the following is an igneous rock? Oh, you've seen this already. Sorry. We are in question 11. A piece of land almost surrounded by water is called what? Now, mind the question. It says it's almost, not completely surrounded by water. Right. So, if it was completely surrounded by water, what will it be? Please give me the answer in the comment section. A piece of land that is completely or totally surrounded by water is called what? It's a popular word. But for this question, it says it is almost. So let's say this is the land, and then there's like a pathway, but there is a road to it. It's like an island, right? But this place now is land, and this is land, and every other thing around here is water. So what's this kind of a land called? Right? This land is called peninsula. We have such land, such beautiful lands or areas in Nigeria. You know of one, even if you've not seen it before. You've heard of Lekki Peninsula. So it just simply means that that portion of Lekki is surrounded by water, but there is still a land that extends to other lands, or a part of, or an area that extends to dry land. Alright, it's not completely surrounded by water. Okay, question number 12. Now, you have, which of the following pairs are associated with the upper course of a river? Let's see. You have delta, no. You have gorges, meanders, rapids. There are actually two here that is associated with the upper course of a river, and that's gorges and rapids. Okay, because of erosion. The upper course of a river, because of erosion, it runs really way faster. So that would be 2 and 4. Do we have such option? Yeah, option B. Rapids and gorges. Okay, they are associated with the upper course of a river. And then question 13. To obtain the climate of a place, the average atmospheric weather conditions should be considered for how long? Actually, scientists would say that you should consider it for between 30 to 35 years to be able to state that, okay, this is the correct climate of this region. It must be considered for up to 35 years. So it's often within 30 to 35 years. So option B is definitely correct. And then question 14. Isotherms are line drawings of maps joining places having equal dash. Okay, isotherms are lines drawn on maps joining places having equal dash. Now, once you see term, anywhere you see term, first thing that should come to your mind is temperature. Term means temperature. It could be hot or cold. Now, iso means alike, same or similar. So that explains it. So isotherms are lines drawn on maps joining places having similar temperature. Right? That's the answer to that. All right, question 15 now. Which type of rainfall occurs when two air masses of different temperature and other physical properties meet? All right, so when two air masses, maybe cold air and hot air, when they meet, all right, what kind of temperature of what kind of rainfall? Yes, what kind of rainfall will occur? Right, we have different types of rainfall. Yeah, you have conventional rainfall, cyclonic rainfall. You know, cyclonic rainfall is also called frontal rainfall. Right, so and the correct option would be cyclonic, which is frontal rainfall. So frontal rainfall will occur when two air masses of different temperature, like I just said, cold and warm, okay, when they meet, you have what is called the cyclonic rainfall. Then next question, when the moon comes in between the earth and the sun in a perfect line, which of the following eclipse occurs? Okay, an example, you have the sun, then you have the moon, and then you have the earth. Note that the earth is smallest when you are looking at the sizes of this. Okay, now, so this is the moon now, moon. So when the moon comes in between the sun and the earth, what kind of eclipse occur? Okay, that's the solar eclipse. So the moon completely blocks the ray of sun from entering the earth at whatever time of the day. Sometimes it could be in the night, sometimes it's in the day. So and the times that it happens in the day, in your your wherever you're watching this from, your day is right from my day. So when it's happening in your day, it could be 1 in 10 years sometimes. Okay, it could be one in a very longer duration of time. So now, because the moon has no light of its own, it's a dark mass, and then it completely blocks the sun from its rays. You know, the sun has rays. Completely block the rays of the sun from reaching the earth, and the sun is the first and natural source of light to the earth. So the earth, for that duration of time until the revolution or until the revolving completes, you know, they are always in motion. So until it moves away from it steadily, little by little. Yes, for that process of time, we say, oh, the solar eclipse is happening. So it's called the solar eclipse. And now, question 17. Petroleum is usually found in dash. Petroleum is usually found in dash. That is the word metamorphic rocks. Question 18. How many standard time zone will a country with a longitudinal extent of 155 have? Okay. How many standard time zone will a country with a longitudinal extent of 155 have? Now, all you just need to do is to divide 155 by 15, right? So to know what it is, because I will not go deeply into that, okay, but 1000 degrees. Okay, I won't go deeply into that for the sake of this video. If you want better explanation, I could explain in the comment section. So, but you time limited. You just need to divide whatever you have here, the degree you have here, by 15. So 155 divided by 15, you have what? Divided by 15, you have about 10.3. You have 10.3. So, and 10.3 is not among the options, right? So 10.3 is between the range of 10 to 11. So because of that, we take 11. Do you understand? Don't get confused. So you divide the degree you have here by 15. And then you have 10.3 in this case. Okay, so the range is between 10.3 is between 10 to 11, right? So you take 11, right? You take 9, you take 11. Okay, now question 19 says the day in which the length of day and night are equal everywhere on the earth, equal everywhere on the earth, that day is what? That's the 1st of March. Everywhere on the earth is equal on that day. So that's that about that. Never forget it. And then 20. A rock in which water cannot easily pass through is called dash. Now, it's called simple. It's called impermeable. So impermeable, or what is permeability? This is just English. So permeability just means the ability for water to pass through. That's what permeability means. Now, impermeability will now mean what? The inability for water to go through. So that's option C. Right. So if you've come this long or this far up to question 20, I'm sure you've been enjoying this class. And if you've been doing so, all you need to do to show that the video is good enough so that the YouTube system can push it to a larger audience of people. And it's your way of showing support to the work we do here is to like the video and make sure you share it to your friends and leave a comment showing how well you enjoy the video. Now we will round up with the remaining 10 questions. Which of the following pairs of ways can be used to solve the world high population concentration problem? Currently the world is going through overpopulation, as they say. Okay, many nations, not all nations, but many nations are experiencing overpopulation. Right. So how can we solve this overpopulation? What is overpopulation, by the way? It simply is when the population of a place is too much over and beyond the resources in that place. So the population of a place is much or so much, but the resources to take care of the population is not as much. So people have to fight and struggle, yeah, for the little or the few resources. So in such a place, food will be expensive and scarce, land will be very expensive because people cannot afford, because there's not so much land mass and people have to struggle. There's so many problems like that which we won't go into. If you want better explanation, like I said, you can use the comment section. So which of these solutions of these four would solve high population concern? You have family planning, sex education, early marriage, industrialization. Early marriage won't solve it, I can tell you that for free, because when you marry early, it increases the chances of having more children, right? Good. Then industrialization don't have anything to do with it. Industrialization has nothing to do with family managing population. It doesn't. So it's between family planning and sex education. Family planning. What's family planning? Teaching potential fathers and mothers to reduce or find ways, several ways to limit the birthing of children or offspring. And then sex education, same thing, teaching people how to, have sex in a way that does not result into babies, right? Good. All right. So, 22. Which of the following countries in West Africa is well known for the production of diamonds? And that is what our own country, Syria Leone. That's one of our fine countries, Syria Leone. They are known for good, not just diamonds, good diamonds. So, well known for good diamonds. It's about the most expensive metal in the world. Yeah. 23 now. Which of the following is a leading industrial area in Northern America? Leading industrial area in Northern America. So you have the northeastern industrial area, you have central Canada, South Mexico, Guatemala. All these ones are like borders, surrounding area. So this option A is the correct option. It's the leading industrial area in North America. Yes. And you actually have areas like New York, which is about probably the number one industrial area in the world. You have New York, you have Ohio in this place in option A. So it's the leading industrial area in North America. Okay. 24 now. It is an extensive cultivation of fruits, vegetables, flowers. It's a small scale farming. The yields are very high per hectare. It produce sold to customer is usually fresh and commonly practiced in urban communities. The above statements are the characteristics of a what? You have mixed farming? No, it's not a mixed farming. By the way, what's a mixed farming? Tell me in the comment section. You have sericulture? No. You have viniculture? No. So market gardening. Market gardening is the correct option. Yes, it is practiced, like you see here, in urban communities. All these features and characteristics are simply the characteristics of market gardening. What's market gardening? Farming for sale, farming for commercial purposes, right? But it's kind of subsistence because people don't have a lot of farmers of this kind of gardening don't have a lot to really mechanize, and sometimes the lands are not even big enough for real or big mechanized type of farming. Okay. 25 now. An advantage of a large population. Okay, we spoke about disadvantage of large population a while ago. Now, what's the advantage? Because everything that has advantage has what? Its disadvantage. So an advantage of a large population is what? Increase in government expenditure. That means increase in government spending is a disadvantage, not an advantage. Then surplus empowerment opportunities is a lie. They are fewer because, like we mentioned, people have to struggle for what is available. Then you have abundant labor force. Oh yeah, that's where our answer is option C. You have a lot of people, so you have a big, massive, a large labor force. For example, Nigeria now having about probably over 200 million people. And of these 200 million people, at least 100 million people are youths, so between the age of active labor. So imagine a family of 100 million people, right? Except if they are not responsible, the major part are not responsible, which is what happens many times in Africa. But it's an advantage because then, if it is put to the right use and people are well taught and they have good financial education, they should be very wealthy. Africa should be very wealthy because of the labor force. So, in God we trust. Okay, question 26 now. Which of these best methods will help to check wind erosion? In other words, which of these would reduce wind erosion. You have reforestation and planting of trees and windbreak. You have intercropping and contour plowing, strip creeping and crop rotation, contour plowing and manuring. Okay? Don't allow all these grammars to mess you up, right? They are all agricultural grammars, but they mean very simple things. But for the sake of this question, reforestation. What is afforestation in the first place? And you have reforestation, you have deforestation. Deforestation is cutting down trees. Forestry, tall trees. Okay? Reforestation is planting those trees. Okay? Now, wind erosion. What's wind erosion? When strong winds, cyclones, we've seen a lot. You go check, just go search it. You see a lot of these problems, especially in temperate countries, temperate regions. They experience wind erosion a lot. Many other places will experience water erosion. Africa experiences that a lot. But Asia, United States, they often will experience wind erosion. So how can they prevent this wind erosion from demolishing their houses, their businesses, and destroying their cities? Is by reforestation. What's reforestation? Planting trees. As a matter of fact, tall trees and strong trees that act as windbreak or windshield when these tough cyclonic winds are coming to hit the city. Alright, 27. Which of the following are the most valuable products of equatorial forests? Equatorial forests are in line or on the line of the equatorial belt. Yes, so which of these products are the most valuable products of equatorial forest? You have cocoa, rubber, oil palm, cassava, plantain, rice, tea, banana, oranges. Yeah. So what are the vegetation in equatorial forest? Often savanna. Okay. Savanna, shrubs, dry lands. Yeah. So cocoa, rubber, oil palm, they flourish a lot in the equatorial vegetation. So that's B. 28. Which of the following is not the characteristics of the rainforest? Now, for example, Lagos is under what? Under what vegetation? The rainforest. Ogun State, the rainforest. Right? Good. So, which of the following is not the characteristics of rainforest? A. It has tall trees with buttress trees and evergreen broad leaves. It has deciduous trees and area roots. The trees need that height and layers of canopy. Some of the trees are climbers, creepers, and epiphytes. Okay? So tell us which of this is not a feature of rainforest. That would be what? Deciduous trees. No, not deciduous trees. Rainforest is the most vegetable for vegetation among all the vegetation. Why? Because of the high amount of rain. Anywhere where rain is falling continuously will experience high vegetation. So you are expecting to see tall trees, giant trees, broad leaves, shrubs, climbers, creepers. You're going to see all manners. Okay? So that's why we are going with deciduous trees. Yeah, deciduous trees. Next question, 29. Trees are deciduous when the what? Okay, I didn't explain that before. Deciduous trees are trees that shed water. They shed their leaves, shed their leaves during the dry season to protect themselves. So they shed leaves during dry season, and then during rainy season again, they take on their leaves again. But during dry season, because you don't want to expend resources to take care of all these many thousands of leaves, to shed them off to be able to maintain the tree itself, or should I say the stem itself and the roots. Okay, so they generally shed their leaves during one season of the year. And the last question for this class, I told you it was going to be an interesting class. The Mediterranean vegetation is described as xerophytic because it is what? It is drought resistant. What is drought resistant? Ability inability to stay without water. That's just what it means. Drought. Drought means lack of water. So the Mediterranean vegetation is xerophytic, or xerophytic is a vegetation is a vegetation that is able to withstand the lack of water. All right, so there we have it. 30 top superb questions, not just for your GCE. Like I said, these questions would appear in all O-level exams. So you want to master them, you want to share them to your friend doing WAEC, and all these other exams, so that you prepare yourself maximally for your exams. And if you need to practice more of these questions, we've loaded a lot of them on our apps. So you can check the link to download our apps in the description of this video. You download those apps and practice these questions for free. Again, if you have questions or comments, or probably I made a mistake, or you have a different opinion, please, okay, instead of disliking the video, you can message us using the comment section, and we'll be happy to reason it out. We are all just learning. I'll see you in the next video. My name is David. Bye.
Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the content you just watched. To see more episodes as that, preparing you for your oncoming exams, smash the subscribe button on this channel right now and visit the playlist that we've made for you, covering over 50 types of different exams, including JAMB, WAEC, Cacao,